Hello everyone, just wanted to take a few minutes and give you an update on the layout here. I've done quite a bit since my last installment and just wanted to give you a brief tour, show you what's new, show you where I'm headed. So I'll start here. This is the area that you might remember at the start of the layout was going to be a rock quarry. So I've gone ahead and topped that off, and I'm thinking about maybe half a dozen houses or so in this area. I've built the access road here up from the town, so I've got that in, got it striped, and I've also got the sides put in there. Used some plaster cloth along the sides and just put a little scenery on it. Right here, this section was kind of a void. I didn't know what to do with it. Didn't want to just put plaster cloth over it. So I don't know how many of you have been kind of keeping up with me here from the beginning, but we moved to a new house here about a year ago, and the neighborhood is still under construction, so there's a lot of rock laying around. So I went out and I gathered some rock that looked pretty good, and I did dry brush this just a little bit to kind of knock down some of the color, but I think that came out pretty well. Started to do some landscaping on the back side of the layout. I did take down this this back piece here. You remember that hill that was kind of in here? I've taken that out, done a little landscaping here. Oh yeah, a big thing. I took all the ballast off of my track. I just wasn't happy with it. So that's all gone. Let's see. Pretty much finished the town. Other than placing some buildings, I've got some talus back here at the edge of the hill. Done some parking lots for the buildings. I can't remember, I think this one you've already seen, but there's some parking spaces back here behind these buildings. Down there at the edge of town, down over the hill, I do have the roadway now going down. And down there I've kind of created a warehouse district. There's about four, well, there are four buildings down there. That's going to kind of be my warehouse district. I've got some stripes in there for some loading bays. Nothing's in there permanently yet. It's just sitting. I mean, it's as permanent as far as placement, but it isn't attached yet. And I've got loading docks all along the front of those, so I think that's gonna turn out pretty well. What I still have to do is underneath each of those buildings, with the exception of the tiny freight station, the second building, I've got to put a piece of that matting that I'm using for everything, and what I'm doing there, it'll raise those buildings up about 1/8 of an inch, which will put those loading dock doors just exactly where they need to be. Right now they're just a little bit below the dock, so that'll get those boosted up, and it'll be good, I think, as far as being level. I've done a little bit more work on the abandoned oil depot. You can see I've got some corrugated fencing in there now, which I've weathered. I found this stuff at Hobby Lobby. See if I don't know if it'll focus in here, but what it is, it was actually corrugated aluminum. This side you can see a little bit of the shine maybe coming through. It was very shiny, so what I did is I painted it flat gray on this side, and then just dry brushed some brown to represent rust on the front of the corrugated. So that turned out pretty well. I've got it around my abandoned depot there now. Some of that scenery needs to be touched up a little bit there, but you can see it looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I've got to run these last two sections of fencing here down this side to kind of enclose that area. Over here on the silos, I've created a couple of shed roofs. Just cut those out of that cardstock that I use. Painted the tops of them silver to represent corrugated roofing, and painted the sides the same color as the silos to represent concrete. So pretty pleased with that. I don't know how well that's showing up down in there, but this side I've got a truck bay, and so I've got a grain truck that I can back in there. Oh, let's see, what else have I done? I've finished the parking lot area over here. These these concrete barriers are just sitting in there right now, but I'm gonna stick those in permanently. This roadway that I've got in there is kind of represents a cinder roadway. I think I'm gonna do something else with it because I'm not real happy with it over here at all. I've got this old factory placed here with the two silos that are represented, you know, like resin silos, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's where they're going to sit, and I've taken them off the base that I had them on. It just looked a little bit too out of scale. Another thing I did, which I kind of like to get your opinion on, these extra 6 short silos here that are on the back side of the building, I actually created those myself. I had an old, I guess a cardboard tube that was from the inside of a roll of carpeting, which I cut down. That's that's as tall as I could get them to make 6. That's the tube wasn't very long, but anyway, that's what I did. I don't know if that's a little bit too bright there. Let me get over here. They're just sitting there right now. They're not in there permanently yet either, but I'm thinking about placing those. So kind of like your opinion on what you think about those. Here's the station. I've got it pretty well placed where it's going to go. Those 2 concrete piers there, I'm going to build a cover for, so they'll have shed roofs over the top of those. And then here's kind of a look at the front side of the warehouse district. I've placed a few more power poles in there. You can see there's 3 of them just behind the warehouse area. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm actually assembling the rest of my telephone poles that I've got and painting those. I've got some transformers that I've painted, and they're going to go on the power poles. I've got to run some poles up the roadway to the neighborhood, so I'll be doing that. This is the area down in here where the little kind of stagnant pond is going to go. Some of my scenery is just kind of sitting in there. I'll brush that out obviously before I put the water in there, but so that's where that's going to go. Let's see, what else have I done? I don't know. I think that's about it. I haven't done any more work on the park in the center of town. I'll probably leave that to last. I did do asphalt undercoating everywhere that the buildings are going to sit, and I'm also going to place each of those buildings on top of a piece of that cardstock as well to kind of get those up even with the sidewalk, so it looks like you're entering the building level off of the sidewalk. Still haven't done any detailing on the buildings yet. That's going to be kind of the last minute thing I believe that I'm going to do. I've decided on placement of this one building. Have a parking lot painted in for it. This little blue building is going to sit in here, in this area, and the house I've decided is going to go up here, be part of the neighborhood. So it'll be about six houses. As soon as I get those purchased, I'll place them, and then I'll decide where the street's going to go. It's probably going to be some type of a cul-de-sac street up in here. Have not done anything with the intermodal yard. I think it's probably going to be last here. So I guess that's about it. So my next steps will be to bring the road across these 2 tracks here, create a parking lot by the station,